Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am proud to bring to you Iron Factory's EX30 Darkness Cygnus. This is their version of a Shattered Glass Jetfire. You got to admit he's pretty awesome, but first let's take a quick look at the box. On the front you've got Cygnus in there. Some nice product shots here with the alternate head. Darkness Cygnus along the side. On the side you've got a very faint picture of, we'll call him Jetfire. Obligatory product shots on the back. Different photo, but same idea on the other side. And on the top, same picture we had down below. And there you go. So, let's get him cracked open and see what he has in store for us. Stay tuned. As you can see, he does come with quite a bit, so we'll go through this as quickly as we can. He does come with a blaster. Nicely done, nicely sculpted. Got some silver accents here on the back. Nice twin blaster. Bit hollow on the bottom, but it looks pretty good. In addition to the two closed fist hands that you do get two gun holding hands. Again, nicely sculpted, just done in black plastic. But they will hold the gun just fine. Slide it on there. Now, these do have the issue that has been reported that they do fall out of the socket quite easily. So, might have to come with a way to remedy that. But moving on, you get two posing hands, or should I say, jazz hands. Again, just in black plastic, but nicely sculpted. You get two, or it's actually one pointing finger hand. It looks really good. You get an alternate face sculpt, which looks really nice. Painted red and silver wings. Nicely sculpted. Looks really, really good. You do get a stand, which is nice that they included it. Lots of articulation on here. You also get a secondary pin if you want to pin it into his back in a certain way in robot mode. You can do that. You get the adapter for the flight stand for jet mode. And then you get his armor bits. All done nicely, sculpted in a plastic purple, not painted, but they do look really good. There's silver paint here on the front, in the front vent, and on the back. They look awesome. These do come apart, so just be careful when you're taking it on and off. The fin can come off, just from personal experience. You get two arm cannons. Again, nicely painted in silver, with silver accents, I should say, molded in purple plastic. Again, nicely detailed. You get his backpack, which does come off. It's got the sliding mechanism here for transformation. But it is nice that they do give you the option to take it off completely. You get his two jet engines, or shoulder cannons, however you prefer to say it. They both are wonderfully sculpted. Thruster on the back, painted in silver. Silver accents. A couple different places. You can transform it. The easiest way to do is lift this up and actually part this section here and then you can actually pull the gun out. So the gun itself looks amazing, done in silver with translucent green in a couple of different places, but they are sculpted fantastically. They look really, really amazing. So let's take a look at the bot. He is, in my opinion, very nicely done. If you take a look at his face, nice gold paint with red painted eyes. It's nicely detailed. Got beautiful metallic purple there, top of the head. Also there along the top of the chest. It is on a ball that it actually allows for up and down movement. You can pull it up and down a little bit, get nice down motion, up motion, great amount of attitude, and some side to side. Looks great. As far as the arms, they can, due to this ball joint, go all the way up. You got a little bit of a butterfly, full 360, upper bicep rotation, nice double jointed elbow for 90 degrees. Coming down to the chest, you got wonderful silver accents here, beautiful metallic purple also. Love the green transparent windshield. More metallic paint there on his love handles. He does have full waist rotation as well as a wonderful ab crunch. Tremendous. Coming down the hip skirts, there's multiple motions to it. They do fold up and out of the way, and they also do lift up, so you have the ability to get all the way out. Front is somewhat limited to that just because of the sculpt, and not really any back, which is kind of disappointing. You do get full upper thigh rotation. The double jointed knee gets you more than 90 degrees. I love the visible mechanism there. The feet, they do provide up and down and also a rocker, which is nice. And the toe can tilt down multiple ways just due to transformation, so you can definitely get some motion out of the feet. Other than the accents on the chest and on the head, it is suffering from a lack of paint, but the detailing, as you can see, is sculpted quite nicely. It looks really, really good. So let's go ahead and get him armed up. First, you want to bring in his leg thrusters, and they just simply attach to the holes on the side. Be aware there is a bit of a tolerance issue. They do attach rather tightly, so just be aware you'll probably want a spudger to get these off. And there's those installed. Now the arm cannons, there's no real differentiation between sides that I've noticed, so you simply want to attach these onto the portholes on the side. They do also attach rather tightly. And finally, the back piece, which, if you'll notice, these two prongs on either side, what they do is they connect here when you're sliding it, just to prevent it from going up too high. So you want to make sure that those are in the proper position when you put the backpack on. And that will, as you can see, prevent it from sliding up beyond what is necessary. And then there we go. We have his armor on. You can see now the articulation for the wings up and down, which is rather nice. So let's bring in his back cannons and thrusters. I did fail to mention that these do actually pivot, so there is articulation on them. but you want to make sure that the side with the detail and the paint is on the outside. And the way these attach is these prongs will attach, sorry, these holes will attach to these prongs. Very simply done. Just slide them on either side. And there we go. He looks amazing with his armament on. This will also allow you to now transform the shoulders. And again, this is where a spudger comes in handy. Just bring these sections down. The easiest way is to go ahead and tilt here. Bring these units forward, like so. Then pivot them around. And there you go. Amazing looking. Go ahead and put these back down. Looks tremendous. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. We can stow those back, and then I can show you the stand. So the stand goes into that port there. Now be aware this is also very tight, so just be careful when you're installing it. And due to the articulation in the stand itself, which can come apart, it allows you to get it in a nice standing pose, as you can see. I do recommend using it with the backpack if that's how you're going to display it, just to prevent it from pivoting backwards. But just due to the articulation on the stand, as you can see, the connection points do tend to pop off, but you can get some nice jumping or flying poses in robot mode. It works really, really well. As far as the head swap goes, it's fairly simple. I do recommend doing it with the backpack off just to give it some support here at the base of the neck. But just grab it and pop it off. Bring in the second head. And pop it on. And then we can bring our backpack back in. And there we go. Looking fantastic. Just for comparison, here he is with the Iron Factor Leo Convoy and Magic Square's Optimus Prime. Being that they share the same universe, here he is with New Age's Shattered Glass Megatron. So let's move into transformation. I like to take care of the legs first. So what you want to do is bring these the knees down. That will let you slide the legs up into position, and then they will lock together with this peg to that hole. Go ahead and put your knees back into position now. With the feet, tilt the toes in, and then they will rock backwards, like so. You want to take your heels and pivot them up, and they will collapse onto the leg like so. It's important that the feet be straight, because these pieces do have to swing into those channels there, which can make it somewhat awkward. And that will lock into place. So now we want to slide the backpack back, and you'll see that these purple prongs will go into these holes if you're doing it correctly. Which is easier said than done when on camera. Okay, now you want to take care of the hands. It's important to note that the fisted hands I can't actually get to transform because they're too wide with the thumb. But go ahead and bring these around and secure them. Same for the other side. And that will allow you to pivot the shoulders down. Just pull from the side, pivot this whole section, and these will actually do a 180 and be on the other side when they're all the way down. Just like that. Push this all the way in, and then these prongs will go into those holes there in the leg. We'll show this again. So pivot the shoulder down. While swinging. And then connect your arm, just like that. Bring your wings down. These can be unfolded. And you can really position them anywhere that you'd like, to be honest. That brings us to the upper body. This is where another instance where a spudger comes in handy. Tilt the head back. Bring the metallic section forward. Bring this whole section around while pivoting the head down inside. And then flip out the first section of the nose. And each will lock into place once you have it straight. And then the second section of the nose. And from here, you can actually pivot this section down and in so the head is hidden. This is where you want to bring in your gun because it leaves it kind of hollow at the front. And if you see this big port right there, notice the extension on the gun handle, which allows for you to plug it into that hole. It actually fills up that section rather nicely. So there we have bare bones Jetfire without his armor. You can actually bring down the landing gear, which are his kneecaps. And inside the gun, you've got this landing gear here as well. So in some ways, the gun being installed is rather essential. There's a good look at that. But let's take a look at some detail here without any armor on. This really brings out the nice silver paint along the wings, which you can see from both sides. It really highlights that canopy as well. But all in all, it's a very nicely done version of Jetfire. So now we can bring his armor back in. Which I'm just going to put it in there loosely. Just because my fingers are getting tired of prying it out. And in order to be facing forward, the side cannons do need to be taken off and turned around. And then we can bring in his rocket boosters. And there we go. All transformed up into full battle mode. And I gotta admit, he does look really good. I mean, I'm not gonna leave him in this mode, but he does look fantastic. Love the articulation on the boosters. It's really nice. Here's the view from the back. I failed to show this earlier. He's got 3 additional boosters on the bottom of his backpack. And now we can bring in the stand adapter. So essentially, this portion of the stand adapter just rests between his legs, and then this will lock right here under the gun. So just push it in and it'll actually stay pretty well with just friction. And then, as you can imagine, bring up my camera a little bit. There we go. Wiggle, wiggle. Just in case you were wondering, yes, the large cannons do still work in jet mode. And another comparison here is with the New Age Starscream. Final thoughts on this guy. Let's start with the negatives. Tolerance issues with all the attachments. It's honestly, it's kind of bad. It leads me to fear that it may break eventually. But then again, it may loosen up over time. So it's hard to say how much that's going to affect the bot. As far as engineering, he's very reminiscent to the classics Jetfire. They've taken a lot of cues from that toy for this version, but I think he's a lot more detailed and a lot more modern, which is great. All of the decor could have been done, or could have used some paint, but it still looks really good, in my opinion. Functionality, the sculpt work, everything is great. He does have posability, which exceeds a lot of the current modern Legend figures that you see on the market. So that's a definite plus. So I do recommend picking this figure up. Again, I picked this one up from thechosenprime.com, which I'll put a link to that in the store in my description. I do highly recommend it. Check it out. If you're into the Shattered Glass in any way, this is something you may want to consider adding to your collection. But all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that share button and get the word out for me. But I hope to see you again next time.